Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today. You tuned back in with Cragcore. Thank you. So, thank you to the subscribers, the likes and the shares and the views on the videos. It's all very, very much appreciated. So, today we're going to be talking about something that is a little bit different. It was different for me anyway. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still going to be some shit talking in there. They thought I was shouting at them. They both went, huh? I love it when stuff like that happens. Anyway, so today we're going to be just prattling on a little bit about reincarnation and what this means for things like, you know, what's happening in the state of the world, what's happening in the world today, thus creating the state of play that we're in. I mean, for context, it's the 20th of December. I mean, did somebody say 4 days till Christmas? Because to me, Christmas Eve is Christmas for me, man. If you're like me and you like Christmas, then you'll know exactly what I mean. But did somebody say it's 4 days till Christmas? If not, I'm saying it again. So, Christmas. Wow, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's foggy out, which I absolutely love as well. But that's not why we're here today. We could digress about the weather. But we'll save that for the woman at the checkout at Tesco. So today we're talking about reincarnation. I mean, do you believe in reincarnation? Because if you do, you've got to factor that in to pretty much everything. Because what you've got to look at is, what is the premise of reincarnation? Well, they say that reincarnation is basically where a soul, i.e. you and I, and everybody else on this fucking spinning rock, is kind of in this body now, but you've been in other bodies in the past and you will be other bodies in the future. And what you do is you live different lives as a way of working through and learning lessons, and then having karma, you know, the karmic cycle, all of this kind of stuff. So they also say that you have a soul group of, I think it's about 6 different main souls. Is it 12 main souls that you always incarnate with? And then there's an outer circle of something like 20 odd, maybe it's 30, I don't know. But there's a few, you know, like an outer circle of souls that you interact with in smaller ways, you know, on a less frequent basis. So you can guarantee then, you could pretty much say that if you've got people that have made a huge impact in your life, they are quite possibly in your inner soul group. Hence, you know, apparently you've sat down on the other side, decided what it is you want to learn from each other. You know, a bit like, you know, you've sat down in a boardroom, so to speak, and said, right, well, in my last life I did this and this, so I need to work this karma out in order to level the playing field. So can you do this and you do this? That'll work through my karma, and then we'll do this for each other, and I want to learn these lessons, so on and so forth. So, you know, we'll do these things. You know, you be this person for my life, I'll be that person in your life. You know, it's all worked out, quantum mechanics. And, you know, before you know it, hey presto, and there you go. You've had another life. And apparently the whole forgetting thing is so that you can learn these lessons, you know, in the moment, so to speak. You know, because forewarned is forearmed. And maybe you wouldn't learn lessons correctly if you knew they were going to happen. It's like if you know somebody's standing behind the door and they jump out and go, ha! You know, you're probably not going to jump, are you? So, I mean, that, in my opinion, is, I don't know. They also say there's a soul trap, and what you need to do is learn from your past mistakes, learn about your past lives, so you can basically just do this one life and get it all over and done with. And the soul trap is about keeping you coming back. Once you've forgotten, you're going to keep making mistakes, therefore building up more karma and stuff, meaning you've got to keep coming back. And these dark souls and dark entities that are, in control of the globe and shit, know about this, and they keep you trapped by hiding away this information. So you've got to keep coming back, which means they can keep coming back and ruling over you and living a physical life, but one in complete opulence. Like I said, bit of a deep subject. Anybody who doesn't think about this kind of stuff or look at these kind of subjects will probably fucking turn off now and think this guy's talking shit. But if anybody's got like a bit of an interest in this, you would have looked up some of these things and you will kind of, I suppose, understand at least to some degree what it is I'm trying to portray. So where does this come into the present? Where does this come to the present day? Well, at the minute we're all hearing these these self-appointed guru types saying things like, you're here for a purpose. I mean, I've said these things myself. I'm not knocking these people. I'm not knocking them. Because a lot of them say some good shit and it's beneficial to us in our lives. It's nice to think that we're here for a reason. But they say, you're here, you've incarnated at this time for a reason. So if you are a soul that wants to make a difference, wants to make a change, and you feel that that's the way you're supposed to be, then simply by being in this moment, you're proving that, because this is the time when change needs to be brought about, so on and so forth. So if you accept the whole karma vibe, if you accept the whole reincarnation vibe, well then I suppose, and you accept it about yourself, well then you have to accept then that it's not just you and your soul group that have incarnated in such a way in order to wake the world up, so to speak, if that's what you're here for, is to try and thrust the world forward in a more self-sovereign, ethos, paradigm, into this. Break the world away from tyranny. That's what these people are saying, is like, you're here at this time to serve a purpose, live in kind of this positive mind frame, and, don't give in. And all of this kind of stuff, thus alluding to the fact that you're here to change the world, for the better, which ultimately means that then there must be somebody trying to change it for the worse, otherwise there'd be no fucking need for that, would there? There'd be no point. Which is where the reincarnation thing comes in, because you've got to then accept then, if you're here for a purpose at this time, well then, considering that all that is a representation of God, apparently, everything is you are the expression of the universe individually. The universe is expressing itself through you and everybody else individually, but collectively, given the fact that it's the universe expressing its whole self through, getting all those experiences. Which, I mean, when you look at it like that, then you say, well, the governments and stuff that are making all of these horrible decisions, that are fucking pushing for tyranny, well, they are also here for a reason, which is that. And you say, well, at this point, how can that be, governor? How can that be? Because how is it then? If you're supposed to be here for pushing the world forward into, I suppose, a paradigm that is away from tyranny, why is there people then that are meant to be trying to push it into? Well, you see, this is the point. How would people know that they have to push themselves out of slavery and out of fucking tyranny unless somebody first and foremost presented themselves as a person that was going to put them there? Which means, if you think about soul sacrifice, if you think about the sacrifices you've made in your life, if you feel as though it's a sacrifice for you to be here and have all of this hard work to do to stand up against tyranny, yeah, that's tough. But you imagine, I mean, I was meditating the other day and it came to me that there is no such thing as hate. There is no evil. There is no negativity. There is only love. And I thought about that while I was meditating, and I was like, well, fucking hell. And that's where this came from, because I was like, fucking hell. You know what? How incredible is it? If you think about then, right, if we go over to the other side and there is no evil, there is only love, that must mean that a soul, such as the soul that is inhabiting Boris Johnson's fucking persona right now, his soul decided to sacrifice to the point that he would be hated in this life. Absolutely hated. Can you imagine saying, yeah, you know, I'll be that guy. I'll go down to planet Earth this time and I'll bring on the human race by making everybody by being so bad and so evil. You know, by putting people by ruining people's lives. I will force them to open their eyes and step out of fucking slavery and into sovereignty by being the worst that they have ever seen. Up to that point. Can you imagine being that soul and saying, yeah, I'm going to make that sacrifice. I'm going to be the guy that is going to generate X amount of karma. I'm going to put myself out there for this. I'm going to be the sacrificial lamb. Maybe he doesn't know this. Maybe he does. I don't know. But you've got to fucking say, if you accept reincarnation, and if you accept the whole thing that goes with that, then you've got to accept that he chose to do this. And if what it's doing is forcing people to wake up, then it's actually a fucking act of love. Is it not? Whether you know it or not. And more to the point, you know, if you go one step further, it's actually doing his sacrifice, or it's at least his soul's sacrifice, a massive disservice if you don't fucking stand up against it, because that's what he's trying to make you do. If you've got to see then, well, if his soul has come here and thrown itself across the fucking train tracks and sacrificed itself to wake people up, to make them step out of this fucking mindset of, you know, fucking protection into self-sovereignty, moving out there and taking responsibility for yourself, and therefore fucking monitoring your own actions and reactions and your own emotions and stuff, because that's where this comes from. Taking responsibility means everything. Only then are you able to be an extraterrestrial civilization, and by that I mean something greater than, you know, farther from Earth. You know, only then are you able to be an intergalactic fucking race, if you are able to manage and monitor your own self. Because that's, in my opinion, what the universe is about. If you start looking at things like fucking telepathy, they will say to you that it's not just about thought, it's about feeling. So when you're projecting things, people not only fucking have the thought of the telepathy, you know, they don't just get the images, they get the feelings too, because it's all one package. If you think about how you experience things, it's through everything. Thoughts, emotions, you know, physical cramping feelings if you feel a certain way about something. That's the way you project it telepathically. It's a package. You're offering somebody a package of information that isn't just fucking words. So if you think that the rest of the fucking universe communicates on this level, or at least the people that are out there that are trying to fucking, you know, bring you on, if that's the way that we're supposed to evolve, then you've got to fucking get a handle on that first. So if this person here, you know, these people, this global elite, are so evil that they are fucking forcing us to fucking step out of this mentality where we just want to be fucking looked after and coddled and into self-sovereignty, well, then you've got to say then that it's a good thing. And if then you relate that to things like, reincarnation, and you realise that they must have chosen to do this. Their soul group chose to do this. They sacrificed an awful lot to do this, to be the fall guy, so that we may wake up. When you look at it like that, you can't fucking hate these people. In fact, you've got to love them. You've got to say thank you, and you've got to wake the fuck up, because if you don't, you're throwing it in their face. You're saying to their soul, fuck you, your sacrifice is worth nothing. So you need to fucking wake up. You need to rise up against this tyranny, because that's why it's there. In your heart of hearts, you know that tyranny is wrong. So by not standing against it, you are doing it a disservice. The reason it exists, the reason that it exists and it is wrong, is so that you can stand up against it and empower yourselves, because empowering ourselves is the ultimate fucking key. That's what this life's about. If you look at it, it's about learning, fucking elevating yourself, doing self-work, so you can fucking empower yourself and be a better human being, a more integral fucking human being that is responsible. And if that's what the intention is of things like tyranny and evil, well, then it's a good thing. You know? I mean, tell me I'm wrong. So anyway, this is what I'm saying it. So you're not doing something wrong by standing against tyranny. You're actually afraid of accomplishing what it is you're supposed to accomplish. And isn't that weird? When you look at it like that, you say, well, actually, since when have I ever been afraid of accomplishing something that I need to do? So at this point, maybe now, if we look at it like this and we say there is no evil, only love, well, then that fucking completely changes how you look at these things. And that means everything that's ever happened to you that has been bad, you have to then say, well, they love me enough to put themselves in a position that's going to make me hate them. Because on the face of it, you know, in the moment, you think, I don't like this person. They're horrible and it's easy to hate. But at the same time, if you then factor in the reincarnation aspect of the fact that it's predisposed, they chose to be here to do this so that you can learn these lessons. What a sacrifice. Because not only you, but they are having to go through the same kind of heartaches. They're having to go through these same emotions that make you feel a certain way. So it doesn't mean to say we have to hang on to negative people. It doesn't mean to say that we have to live with negativity. The point of negativity is to show to us that that's not what we're meant to be living with or as. So ultimately, it doesn't mean to say that if you're in a fucking bad position with somebody, or for instance, we're in a bad position with the fucking global elites. Doesn't mean to say that we have to say, well, okay, they love us enough to want to do this to us, so we'll just fucking sit down and live with it, you know, and take it on the chin. Because that's just fucking stupid. If something is negative in your life, then accept it, acknowledge it, and then move on. Because that's what it's meant to make you do. It's meant to empower you so that you can move on and be a better person in the correct vibration that you're meant to be in. Because now you've moved up a level, you know. Now you've gone to the next level where you're going to face different challenges and stuff, and different people that are going to challenge you in different ways. Just remember, all of the negativity that is happening in the world right now, all of the lockdowns, all of the fucking forced vaccines, all of the passport, all of the fucking tyranny, the robbery of your freedoms, what is it doing? It's making you value it. It's making you value your self-sovereignty. It's making you value your freedom to choose. It's making you value your voice by being censored constantly. It is actually doing good. So you must fucking keep doing that. You must keep fucking valuing these things. Realize the value in it through that which is fucking happening to you. Accept it, take it, fucking envelop that within yourself and use it. Okay, and be it and become it. That's what this is meant to do. It's meant to elevate us. It's meant to make us stand up. It's meant to make us fucking rebel against the tyranny. Because nobody's meant to live in servitude. Nobody's meant to live in slavery. Nobody. And that's what its purpose is. It's meant to make you fucking stand up and rise against. That's what it's there for. And on that note, I'm going to wish love and peace to all things everywhere. This is Cragcore signing off. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've certainly enjoyed making it. Peace.